Guys, this is Mr. Joshy J, and in today's video, I am doing my driver ratings and team ratings for the Barcelona Grand Prix. All drivers and teams covered as I rate them out of 10 for their performances over the weekend. Now, please note I don't get out half as scores, just a number between 0 and 10. So, let's start off with Mclaren, shall we? Oscar Piastri, I'll give her 10. Yes, P1 in qualifying and P1 in a race dominated this weekend after looking a bit off of it in Monaco. He really bounced back in this Grand Prix, so yeah, it has to be 10, doesn't it? Lando Norris, I'll give him an 8. I mean, qualifying, P3 in qualifying, well, P2 in qualifying and P2 in the race. Yeah, because it was a McLaren 1 and 2. Yeah, I mean, just didn't quite have the pace to keep up with his teammate, but a very solid race by McLaren as well. Their team rating, I'll give them a 9. I was really impressed with them this past weekend. On to my team, Ferrari. Lewis Hamilton, I mean, qualifying was absolutely outstanding, but in the race was a real stinker and hugs, honestly. So, that being considered, I'm going with 6. I mean, really struggled with the car. And to get beat by a Sauber as well, I mean, that is literally humiliation at the highest level. And asked on the radio to move over for his teammate Charles Leclerc. I mean, humiliating, but Ferrari made the right decision because Leclerc looks a lot more comfortable. So yeah, really disappointing weekend to lose out. And Charles Leclerc, I'll give him a 7. Qualifying was not good. I think it was P7, which he would have been really disappointed with that because it's the standards what Leclerc sets. He's very critical of himself, and rightly so at times, because it shows he doesn't accept mediocrity. But in the race, P3, absolutely fantastic. And Ferrari's rating, yeah, I'll give them a 7. On to Mercedes, 63. I'll give 63 a solid 7. I thought in qualifying, he looks quite sharp, and in the race, to finish P4 and ahead of a certain Dutchman as well, which we're going to get onto his rating in a second. So, yeah, I mean, he did make contact with the Dutchman, 63, which he has to take accountability for that, but I thought apart from that, it's a solid weekend. Kimi Antonelli in the Mercedes, I'll give him a standard 5 because he did retire. Another failure for Mercedes. What on earth is going on with the Mercedes power units recently? Something is not right with the Mercedes power units. Well, not just the work scene, but like Aston Martin as well, when Lando Alonso had a failure. Mercedes rating for this weekend, yeah, I'll give them about a 6, yeah. I mean, again, disappointing for them. It really was. And on to Red Bull. Now, this is the easiest ratings I'm going to give both drivers, okay? 33, 0, absolutely 0. Wow, oh my goodness me. Shocking driving by the Dutchman. Seriously. I mean, he went into Charles Leclerc, then he rammed into 63 deliberately, because I saw the onboard footage, right? And it's clear as day, he hardly attempted to make the corner, just like in Brazil 2021 when he forced my driver, Lewis Hamilton, off. So yeah, 33, 0, absolutely 0. 1-for-1 Yuki Tsunoda, 0, absolutely 0. I mean, to qualify last in the Red Bull is an absolute disgrace. And he finished outside of the points as well, so Yep, 0 for Yuki Tsunoda. Absolutely shambolic. And Red Bull's rating, well, I mean, it turned out to be a disastrous race for them, didn't it? Because obviously Max had that penalty where he dropped to 10th and 1 for 1 finish outside the points, but I'm going to have to go with 0 as well for their rating. Absolutely abysmal weekend for their Milton Keynes outfit. And on to Alpine. Pierre Gasly, I'll give him a 8. I thought he's superb this weekend. I was really impressed with Pierre Gasly. Yeah, very solid this weekend. Franco Colapinto, 2. I mean, I've been really disappointed with this striker's return. I really have, I was so excited when they announced that Colapinto was coming back, but he's under pressure already. He is just not performing, is he? So, yeah, 0 for him. No, sorry, 2 for Franco Colapinto. Alpine's rating, yeah, I'll give them about a 7 because Gasly had a good weekend. So, yeah, I'll give them a 7. On to Aston Martin. Fernando Alonso, 9. Yes, I give Fernando Alonso a 9. To finally score points this season, absolutely incredible. Long overdue, and it's finally happened, so I couldn't be any more happier for him. Lance Stroll, standard 5, as he did not take part in the race because due to injuring his wrist. Now, I heard he went on a rampage in his dressing room, so that's why he was dropped this weekend. If that's the case, then rightly so, because that's nowhere near sustainable, but I'll give him a 5. Racing Bulls, Liam Lawson, 4. I've been really disappointed with his performances recently. Qualifying was not the best, and the race finished outside the points. So, yeah, 4 Liam Lawson. Isaac Hadjar, I'll give him an 8. Absolutely superb, honestly. Qualifying is so fast and got points in the race. He is doing absolutely amazing. And Racing Bulls rating, yeah, I'll give them about a 7, I think, because Isaac Hadjar was superb this weekend. And on to Kick Sauber, Nico Hulkenberg, 10, absolute 10. To get P5 in the race in that Sauber, absolutely unbelievable. Obviously, qualifying was not the best for Nico Hulkenberg because he got out-qualified by his teammate, but unreal performance, honestly. Just amazing by the Hulk. On to Gabriel Bortoleto. I'll give Gabriel Bortoleto an 8. Qualifying was superb, but the race didn't quite go to plan. But to out-qualify Nico Hulkenberg and get that high up in qualifying was absolutely unbelievable. I think he started out P12 or something like that. So yeah, really solid weekend. And Kick Sauber's rating, I'll give them a 7 as well. On to Haas Esteban Ocon, 2. Absolutely nowhere in this weekend. Was really struggling, Qualifying was shambolic and the race for him as well. So, 2. On to my favourite other driver, Ollie Behrman. Ollie Behrman, I'll give him a standard 6, really. Qualifying was okay, but the race didn't really go to plan for him. Poor strategy, I think, by the Haas team. So, yeah, I'll give him about 6. And Haas's rating, I'll give him about a 6. By an average weekend by them, to be honest. And finally, on to, here at Williams HQ, we have the best drivers lineup. We can strike fear into the opposition. Well, that line might have aged well, because the last 2 races, it's been absolutely shambolic by Williams. On to Carlos Sainz, 0. Absolutely 0. What on earth was that by the smooth operator? this weekend. Nowhere near sustainable. That was a shambolic performance by Carlos Sainz. On to Alex Albon. I mean, 6. I mean, to damage 2 front wings in a race and retired as well. Well, standard fine, actually. I'd change that to fine because he did retire, but a disastrous weekend for Williams. And their team rating is, I mean, 0 for Williams as well. So 0 for Red Bull and 0 for Williams. So that's the driver ratings done, team ratings done for the Barcelona Grand Prix, where there's no F1 this weekend, so it'll be back next weekend in the Canadian Grand Prix. Join me for qualifying reaction, race reaction, and driver ratings and team ratings. Bye-bye.